Hello, everybody, and welcome to Youth Connect Friday, September the 10th. I'm Aiden.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Joshua.
I'm Nibras.
And I'm Jeffrey.
And welcome to our Youth Connect. Happy Friday, as per usual, guys. I hope that you're having an amazing week, and I hope you're excited for the weekend. But starting off of our Youth Connect, we always need to do our Spotlight Game of the Week with gaming news. So, for fans that have been here before or brand new to the show, let me tell you a little bit about Spotlight Game of the Week. It's basically a game that I want to shine the light on, and I want you guys to check out. And I'll give you a short description. And today's Spotlight Game of the Week is Garry's Mod. Now, for some of you that don't know Garry's Mod is a classic among many popular games, which include Portal, Half-Life, and even Team Fortress 2. But in Garry's Mod is a physics sandbox. There aren't any predefined aims or goals. They just give you the tools and leave you with them to play. I've actually done it myself. You could spawn objects and weld them together to create your own contraptions, whether that's a car, a rocket, a catapult, or something that doesn't even have a name yet. That's up to you. You can do it offline or join the thousands of players that play a lot online every single day. If you're not too great at construction, because I know I can never build a super rocket that can fire a million missiles in the air, you can place a variety of characters in silly positions. If you've ever heard of Super Mario Glitchy 4, that man uses Gmod a lot. So you can make funny little videos and even post them on YouTube. But the Garry's Mod community is a tremendous source of content that has added hundreds of unique modes to the game. So if you don't like building and you don't like, making a little show, you have game modes. In Trouble in Terrorist Town, you can become a detective solving an online murder as criminals attempt to cover up their homicides. Or you can be a ball, a plant, or even a chair, and anything else in Prop Hunt's elaborate shape-shifting game of hide and seek. Or Elevator Source, which is the gaming's first elevator thrill ride. In this thrill ride, you can deliver players into airlocks or even have an awesome kitten dance party. The amount of creativity that Garry's Mod has produced is absolutely amazing, because with Garry's Mod, you can make game modes of your own. If you've ever heard of Half-Life, there's so many mods that people have created on their own with unique cutscenes, with unique gameplays and everything. And it's basically just like someone gave you the tools to do literally anything. And now you have that creativity. I recommend checking out Garry's Mod. It is amazing. And make sure, guys, from a note from me to you, make sure to download counter source textures. Very important. Anyways, next up we have Kevin, and Kevin has with us some local Canadian news and weather.
Good afternoon and welcome to this edition of Youth Connect. The time is now 3:34. I'm your host, Kevin Aruja, but first, we've got the headlines. Ontario reports 848 new COVID-19 cases and 11 new deaths. The government confirms the 30th of September will not be a provincial statutory holiday in Ontario. Liberals ask election watchdog to investigate allegation of conservative collusion with gun lobby. Parents describe nerves excitement as Toronto area school boards resume class. And Canada's Leila Fernandez turning heads with big wins at US Open. Ontario reports 848 new COVID-19 cases and 11 more deaths on today, as the province knows active caseload stabilized in the low 6,000 range for the last several days. The 7-day rolling average of new cases now stands at 729, up from 700 to 23rd yesterday, but down from 732 1 week ago. The Ministry of Health says that 659 of Friday's cases involve people who were unvaccinated, partially vaccinated, or had an unknown vaccination status. That group made up 77% of cases despite forming only 32% of Ontario's population. Of those, the Ministry of Health states 41 deaths occurred more than 2 weeks ago, and as far back as 2 months ago, and were revealed recently due to an ongoing investigation into increased mortality associated with the pandemic. Of course, 177 were in intensive care, a decline of 8 from Thursday. 84% of Ontario residents at age 12 and up have now received at least one dose of a COVID 19 vaccine, and 78% have received two doses. Ontario will not make September 30th, National Truth and Reconciliation Day, a provincial statutory holiday. The government confirms in a statement to CTV News Toronto on Wednesday night. A spokesperson for Indigenous Affairs, Mr. Craig Ruckford, said National Day for Truth and Reconciliation is not a provincial public holiday this year. This means that only federal regulated businesses and organizations are required to give employees the day off. The federal government established a new statutory holiday in July to commemorate the tragic legacy of residential schools in Canada. The decisions respond to the 80th call to action in the Truth and Reconciliation Commission report just last week. The Ontario government was still undecided on whether to mark the day as a provincial statutory holiday. Last month, the BC government formally recognized September 30th as the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation in the province and announced the closure of schools, post secondary institutions, and some health sector workplaces. The decision not to make September 30th as a statutory holiday means that school in Ontario will remain open. The Liberal candidate Mark Garretson has written to Canada's election watchdog, asking him to investigate whether the Conservatives have broken the Canada Elections Act. In a letter to Yves Cote, the Commissioner of Canada Elections, Garretson asked the watchdog to investigate whether the Conservative Party of Canada is colluding with the National Firearms Association, or NFA. Central to Garrettson's allegation is that the Conservative National Campaign Director Fred DeLorey, a former lobbyist for the NFA, has been coordinating campaign activities with the association. Namely, that in exchange for the NFA's support in targeting ridings held by Liberal members of Parliament, the Conservative Party would agree to repeal the assault firearms ban if they were to form the next government. Delorey's current status on the registry of lobbyists is inactive. He has not had a registered contact since June 2018. Cote's office confirmed confirmed receipt of the letter, but would not reveal any details about the complaint. At the camping stop in Ottawa on Monday, O'Toole denied the allegations, saying there is a serious quid pro quo between the Conservative Party and an NFA. Parents said they were excited but nervous as they dropped their children off to school on Thursday, the first day of classes in Ontario's largest school boards amidst a fourth wave of the pandemic. All the boards started in-person learning earlier in the week, but it was the beginning of the new school year for students in the Toronto, Peel, York, and Durham wards. It will be the third school year affected by the pandemic. Through this year, the province science experts are calling for schools to stay open at all but the most catastrophic circumstances. Ontario has had the longest interruption to in-person classes in Canada. The province repeatedly moved classes online to tackle surging infections. Entrance to school buildings on Thursday was staggered for COVID-19 screening. Creating long lines in the morning, the province recently removed runny nose and headaches from the list of COVID-19 symptoms that require children to stay home from school and get tested for the COVID-19. The Ministry of Education has sent guidelines to school in a bid to slow the spread of the virus, which include requirements that staff and students self-screen for COVID-19 each day and wear masks indoors. Ontario's education minister said all 72 publicly funded school boards have achieved the goal of having a standalone HEPA health filter installed in every learning space that isn't mechanically ventilated. Leila Annie Fernandez whooped into the US Open with so little fanfare that tennis observers were barely paying attention to the young Canadian in the early days of the tournament. Ranked number 73 in the world when the major began on August 30th, the teenager from Laval, Q, didn't seem poised for magic run as the final slam of the season got underway. But then she beat four-time major champion Naomi Osaka of Japan in the third round last Friday and followed that up with wins against other high-ranked opponents, and the perception of Fernandez began to change. Fernandez is one of the two Canadians in the US Open semifinals. Number 12 seed Felix Auger Aliassime of Montreal plays number 2 Daniil Medvedev of Russia on the men's side on Friday, just as Bouchard's Wimbledon final helped motivate Andreescu. Branu said Andreescu's US Open title is helping inspire Fernandez now. While Nestor agrees, he said the rush of success hasn't been surprising for Canadian tennis fans. In today's weather forecast, we got mainly sunny this afternoon. The temperature is now 23 degrees centigrade. On Saturday afternoon, we've got sunny. The temperature will be 26 degrees centigrade. That's all to report on weather. Hey, good weekend, folks. See you next week. And now I'm switching back to Aiden's gaming news.
Thank you so much, Kevin. You know what? I'm not one for politics, and it's sad to hear that that the holiday is not going to be an official holiday. Makes you feel sad, but let's not get too much into it because we have to get to our second gaming news. Apparently, a Twitter user named Shota is now the proud owner of all 1,244 Game Boy titles. I gotta say, congratulations. Finishing the collection took less time than he would have thought, thanks to Twitter. Who would have thought? In the US, there were 1,046 games released for the Game Boy, but in Japan, there were 1,244. Note that these are only the games that are official and do not include unlicensed or canceled titles. Shota began his collection in earnest in 2019 of September and completed it in just 2 years, collecting all of the Japanese Game Boy games. The collection is actually housed also in a do-it-yourself display shelf that he made himself. He said, putting something together like this is not cheap. But Shota isn't exactly sure how much he's poured into his collection. He said, I haven't even added up how much I've spent, so I don't know, he said. You know what? 1,244 games. There could be some rare ones that here and there, and he doesn't know how much he spent. Let's hope that he's able to pay it all out in the end. This has been your second gaming news. Next up, we have Joshua, and Joshua has with us some world news and, of course, your very favorite animal news.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Connect. Here's what's happening around the world. A 7.0 magnitude earthquake struck north of coastal resort city of Acapulco, Mexico on Tuesday, killing at least one person, officials said. The building swayed in Mexico City, the country's capital, some 180 miles north of Acapulco. There were no immediate reports of major damage. President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador said in a video early Tuesday night that the damage appeared to be limited. The earthquake had a preliminary magnitude of 7.0 earthquake. 7.0. The U.S. Geological Survey said it had a depth of around 20 kilometers, which is a shallow earthquake, it said. Authorities said 92 aftershocks were left in the hours after the official quake hit. The earthquake was felt in Mexico City, where some areas lost power. About 1.6 million people were left without power as of Tuesday evening, the Federal Electricity Commission said in a statement. North Korea suspended from 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics by IOC. North Korea was formally suspended from the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics by the International Olympic Committee on Wednesday as punishment for refusing to send a team to Tokyo citing the COVID-19 pandemic. IOC President Thomas Bach said the North Korean National Committee Olympic body will also now for hit money with its due from previous Olympics. The unspecified amount, potentially millions of dollars, had been withheld because of international sanctions. Individual athletes from North Korea who qualified to compete in Beijing could still be accepted by a separate decision in the future, Bach said. North Korea withdrew its team in April from the Tokyo Olympics, citing a need to protect athletes from the world public health crisis caused by COVID-19. Bach said at a news conference that they are violating the Olympic Charter and did not fulfill their obligation as stated in Olympic Charter to participate. North North Korean the North Korean Olympic Committee is suspended through 2022, and the exclusion could be extended. He said. Now turning to science news, three concerning variants have caught scientists' attention since Delta emerged. After the Delta variant took the world by surprise this summer, scientists have been keeping a lookout for the next worrisome coronavirus strain. Three in particular, Lambda, Muta, and C1.2, have caught scientists' attention recently since they share a few key similarities with other variants concerned. Like these three variants show signs of being highly transmissible, resistant to the immune defenses generated by vaccines or both, but none is spreading faster than Delta, an indication that Delta will remain the world's dominant strain for at least the near future. Delta represents nearly 60% of the coronavirus infections worldwide, according to Scripps Research Outbreak Info Tracker. The three new variants represent a much smaller share, but they have each spread to several continents. Turning to animal interest news, these hilarious photo contest finalists will put a smile on your face. The Comedy Wildlife Photography Awards is underway in its 7th year, inviting everyone to come and enjoy the lighter side of the nature. Who knew a bear could be so bashful that insects could warm you up with their smiles? That the kangaroos enjoy the fine art of opera. Founder Paul Johnson Hicks began the photo competition after seeing how much comedy resonated with these viewing his work. He is a wildlife photographer who lives in Africa. As a result, he knows all about wildlife photography competition and how much attention they can get. Then he thought, well, hang on a second. What about a funny picture? Anyone can submit a photo or video consideration in the competition as long as it features wildlife in the wild. He says you laugh and makes you feel good after seeing the funny pictures. That is why people love this particular competition, because people feel great when they look at it. But then people look at the story about conservation because they're still feeling great. Passionate about wildlife, John Hicks saw an opportunity to inspire people to see themselves within the animal subjects and to start a conservation co- dialogue from a place of positivity. These projects is an opportunity to engage people around the world towards conservation. The site has 1 million people looking at their website. If maybe 1% of the viewers think about something that they can do at home or get involved, then it is a win for the conservation effort. The 2021 will be the 2021 winner will be decided on October 22nd, and you can log on to vote for your favorite at comedywildlifephoto.com. This is Joshua Show reporting for you Connect. That's it for me. Now I'll send it back to you, Aiden.
I must say, those photos were absolutely adorable. Oh my gosh. If you guys are a photographer and you really want to get into this competition, I recommend that you do, because I bet you there is a ton of funny and hilarious photos that you can take in your very own neighborhood or even in a park that you might be in. You never know, you could even win. For our last gaming news, we have our board game of the week, similar to our video game of the week, but instead it's a board game. And today's board game is a classic, and I hope that you guys know what it is. It is Scrabble. How do you spell that? Scrabble. Scrabble. Now, if you don't know what Scrabble is a beloved word game. It's like a giant word jumble with endless possibilities. Players are given a number of wooden letters to begin, and each letter is assigned a different point value. And you will immediately start analyzing your letter tiles to see what possible word combinations you might be able to create to play the most point-rich words. Make sure to also keep a pen and paper nearby to keep track of your scores, and you'll probably want a dictionary because it will come handy just in case you need a validity of words. And that undoubtedly gets challenged because I know sometimes people use words that you never even knew existed. So it's also a word game. You get to learn about new words. That's pretty awesome. In the end, once one player has used his or her tiles, the game ends and points are tallied. But whoever ends up with the most points is the real winner. Scrabble is such an amazing game. You get to learn, you get to have fun, and you know what? It's a bit of strategy. You have to come up with the right words, and sometimes you might need to come up with the silliest of words. I know sometimes I come up with words like zibbadubada. And I'm like, what kind of word's that? But it's not a word. But maybe it could be. You never know. You might need the dictionary and the Urban Dictionary. You'll need both. This has been your gaming news. And next up, we have Nibras. And Nibras has with us some movie and entertainment news. Or movie and facts.
Hello, everybody. How are you guys today? My name is Nibras Khan, and I'm yours for the entertainment news. Let's get straight into our top story. And the top story is about Stevie Wonder will headline Global Citizen Live Stud 24-hour event in Los Angeles this month to help raise money and awareness around poverty, climate change, and the need for more access for two COVID-19 vaccine doses worldwide. Global Citizen officials announced Thursday that Wonder will be among several performers, including her, Adam Lambert, and Demi Lovato, to take part in the event at the Greek Theatre on September 25th. The event will feature other performances by Chloe Exhale, One Republic, The Lumineers, 5 Seconds of Summer, and Uzana. It is again my pleasure and honor to join with all the artists who are using their gift of song to celebrate the Global Citizens event by doing our part in working against global warming, starvation, and signing for equality around the world. We are the village. Wonder said in a statement. The London lineup will include Duran Duran, Kylie Mingo, Nile Rodgers and Czech, and Rag and Bone Man. In the US, Global Citizen wants the Biden administration to increase COVID-19 vaccine access by sharing at least 350 million doses with the poorest countries by the end of September. The organization is seeking for government leaders in the UK to partner with the Race to Zero Coalition, a United Nations-led campaign that aims to achieve zero carbon emissions by 2015. So this is great. So they will also the Global Citizen will have a great concert going. And plus, it's for charity. Isn't it good, guys? It's amazing. So my second news is about after years of construction, several delays, and series of controversies, Hong Kong's M Plus Museum is now set to open on November 12th. Hong Kong residents will be able to visit the museum for free during its first year. Among the museum's first exhibitions will be Hong Kong, Here and Beyond, a wide-ranging survey exploring various factors that have shaped the city over the years. a show of works given to M Plus by Yuli Seg, who has emerged as one of the most important collectors of Chinese contemporary art worldwide. The 700,000 square foot M Plus will be one of the biggest art museums in Hong Kong and a new destination in the international art world, with a collection drawing from the holdings of significant figures like Sig, William and Lovina Lim and Hallam Chow and others. A sense of uncertainty has loomed over the Herzog and the Maroon Design Museum since even before plans were first announced for an expected opening in 2017. Lars Nadev, the museum's first director, left 2 years before that in 2015. Sohena Raphael replaced him in 2016. The museum fired its main contractor in 2018 and parted ways its chief executive last year. So it's a museum. It's in Hong Kong. I'm very excited about this. I've heard a lot of stuff about this from my friends and family. Yeah. So my third and final story is about with a new trailer that revealed the return of Alfred Molina's Doctor Octopus, Spider-Man No Way Home is teasing an expansion of Marvel Cinematic Universe that could encompass previous cinematic incarnations of the web slinger. Along with Molina and Jamie Foxx's Electro, the cast also rumored to include the return of both Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's versions of the Peter Parker. While Garfield has denied any involvement in the MCU film before, the actor offered another canny response when asked about the casting rumors in a recent Variety profile. I understand why people are freaking about the concept because I'm a fan as well. You can't help but imagine scenes and moments of, oh my god, how cool would it be if they did that? Garfield said. It's important for me to say on the record that this is not something I'm involved in. So I'm very excited for the Spider-Man No Way Home, the third version. It's coming in December, December, December 17th. So I'm very excited. Um, it would be great if both of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield showed up, but they will not, unfortunately. But yeah, things happen. And that's all from me. As always, this is Nibras Khan from Youth Connect. I'll see you all next week. Thank you very much. Back to Eden.
All right.
Thank you so much, Nibras. Interesting news, interesting movies. I actually also am excited for Spider-Man No Way Home. So I really do hope that it's going to be something exciting, and it probably will. It's going to be a Marvel film. Marvel films are really good.
So just add if I'm making the film, and if I'm smart, I would add Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield because it will be one of the biggest film in today's world.
You know what? It would gain some popularity if they really think about it. It will increase the reputation. So maybe they might consider it. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
You never know. Awesome.
For our cherry on top, the last part of our Youth Connect, the final piece to this amazing masterpiece, we have Jeffrey with live music.
Hi everybody, thanks. I'm gonna be playing "Rockin' the Free Road" by Neil Young. There's colors on the streets, red, white, and blue. People shoveling the feet. People sleeping in the shoes. There's a warning sign on the road. There's a lot of people saying we better all that. Don't feel like something by my auntie. I'll try to forget any way I can. Keep on rocking in the free world. Keep on rocking in the free world. she hates her life, what she's done to it. That's one more kid that will never go to school, never get to fall up, never get to be cool. Keep on rocking in the freeway. Keep on rocking in the freeway. Thanks everyone for rocking this world, and I will see you next week.
Holy moly. You know what? You got to keep rocking. Keep rocking, Jeffrey. Oh my gosh, she gets so good, and he really gets into the music. And even I do. Oh, outstanding work. This has been our Youth Connect Friday, September the 10th. I hope that you guys enjoyed. And if you do, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
And don't forget to click the bell.
And other than that, guys, we will see you all next week. Have a safe weekend, guys. Stay safe, stay clean, and have an amazing weekend. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for
Bye.
having us.